Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing good today for this start of a new week. So, um, well, first off, I was thinking I heard Lionel Nation say that Bobby Kennedy at like 70 or 74 years old, somewhere in his 70s, is doing push ups without a shirt on and trying to build muscle. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is guess what? You can build muscle at any age, but you should probably start when you're younger. I don't know. Maybe he's been physically fit all his life, but to get out there at his age without a shirt on, what you doing, old man? Put your clothes on. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see it if you're young or you're old. I mean, if you're physical fitness instructor or trying to win some kind of competition or um, if it's part of a skit or something like that, I could see. But to be out there, who are you trying to impress? What, like I'll be the most physically fit president ever in the entire history of the world? Yikes. I mean, now, if Biden was doing that, I might be sort of impressed. If Obama did it, that would look like a skinny ass joke. And if Trump did it, yeah, well, he probably wouldn't do it with his shirt off because he likes his steak and his cheeseburgers and his ketchup. So, or Big Macs, whatever he eats. I have no clue, but you know. Just something that's on my mind, but in all reality, you can build and maintain your muscles at any age. It's a proven fact. So, especially if you've been injured and you're getting back on the scene. Yeah. See, I'm not as athletic as I used to be, but in combat, I'm more lethal because I don't want to get hurt. So I saw a meme, it was funny. It said, when old timers have to fight, they don't run. They go and have a cup of coffee when they're done. you know, that's about it. That's the extent of it because you do become more lethal because it's self preservation, you know, especially if you've been combating all your life against people that attack you first. And nobody should be attacked for anything they ever say. Or probably, if under normal circumstances, you can do anything you want to do if you're not hurting other people. Nothing you say or do under typical circumstances should ensue any kind of wrath out of another person or anything like that. Yeah, I got a friend on Facebook. He broke up with somebody 5 years ago, and she has people like uh, from another country after him and his friends, but he's got pictures of his arms all cut up and stabbed and bloodied his face. And I mean, that's bad, you know. And I've seen women like that too. So, yeah, pretty crazy. So, I have not seen a clip of it, but Lionel Nation was talking about how the gay pride turned into the transgenders, big men dressed up like women, yelling, "We're coming after your children." That's exactly what I told you what their agenda was. That's why it's so dangerous to be passive. towards a community that is dangerous to children, even what the children see. And I'm hoping to God that the gays and the queers out there, that you will seclude your sexuality from all children. We all need to do that, no matter what, no matter who we represent inside our hearts and our souls. Children do not need to be taught any of that. That's a fact. I'm gonna share Lionel's. Uh, well, I shared it on my community. Yesterday was really phenomenal. I'd call it like when Michael stands up, 'cause that's in its truest form. Somebody that probably never would have said a word like me until you involve the kids, and then, like I always say, all bets are off. There is nothing, I mean, aside from murder, I won't murder you, but there's really nothing I wouldn't do to you if I saw you harming a kid. Just keep that in mind, people that are weird like that. There's people like me that aren't going to take you out to lunch, and we're not going to coddle you and baby you with your regressed non-humanity. Just keep that in mind. I don't know. I'm not speaking for anybody else, then I guess I really can't. But I do believe there's other people that feel as strongly as all that. And when it does come to my athleticism, oh yeah, I can still run and jump and do a flying drop kick or slap you in your head with my foot because you can't reach that long with your arms, something like that. I'm not just saying this. I mean, I'm proud of my athleticism. I worked hard. I had to. It was either that or get taken out, you know? So that's the way that is. But I saw some kickboxing going on today, and people, they'll get their leg in there, excuse me, but they'll get their leg in there like that. So once you got your leg in there and you're going to slap them, if you're going to kick them with like a tornado and you're up in their face, you might as well slap them that way while you're there. If you're up in there, if you're in close personal contact with somebody with your foot while you're there and you're hopping on your other foot, because you're already, if you get in there, whenever you're in their space, you want to do as much damage as you can with as many limbs as you can coordinate at the same time, or all four of them, if you could imagine that. Just, just a word to the martial artists out there. Once you're in their space, it's like a combination, but not just with your hands. So anyway, I wrote that on a post. Don't forget, when you're in their space, use it like a dual slap. You got your foot in their face anyway. You might as well hit them twice while you're there. It's possible. If you've got that opening, you've got that opening. If you're quick enough. So, anyway, it's a real thing. I do it. So, anyway, yeah, I like to spar. I mean, I don't like to get hurt and I don't want to hurt anybody, but I mean, it's sort of like touch football. It can be. Judo can be a bit brutal. Kickboxing can be a bit brutal. But, oh well, you know. Only because I've had to. My self-defense turned into combat, and not because I wanted it to. I didn't have a choice, like I said. So, and I'd recommend everybody, especially if you're a lone woman or living in the city or whatever, I'd learn some self-defense self-defense for real, because somebody come up behind you, go like this, and you've escaped. If you do a back kick at them, do a donkey kick at their femur, 400 pounds of pressure, or a little bit less depending on the person, you're going to be able to release yourself. Or if there's choking, there's different ways to get at them too. So yeah, but self-defense is where it's at. Or you can just bend your body over and throw their weight and then come down with your elbow on their throat, you know, if you want to stay there and fight, you know. And like I said, well, if you can't run and you're an old timer, I can run though, but maybe not as fast as somebody who's younger. So I probably wouldn't waste my time running. And I'd probably be a little more lethal than what you expected, you know, because who wants to get hurt, right? So, yeah. I was disappointed, not to the point where I won't ever listen to him again, but with Dr. Jordan Peterson, what the hell you got Mike Pence on your show for? What the hell is that all about? I couldn't bring myself to listen to it. I had enough of him when he was in office. It's like, get out of here with your bullshit, you freaking traitor, you know? So I really didn't understand what. I mean, he might have asked them some really good pointed questions as to what he did do or what he thinks he's going to do in the future, but none of that really mattered. Like I said, I couldn't bring myself to even watch this stuff. It's like, no, I can't believe this is real. So you might as well have Biden on your show too. How about Kamala? You know, everybody loves our present administration, don't we now? Ugh, what a embarrassment and a mockery of our country. So I guess today is National Bald Eagle Day, and I don't know where the person was from, but they asked if anybody's ever seen bald eagles. Well, yeah, in my yard and all around my yard quite often. And another person wrote, yeah, I live in Alaska. I live in Minnesota. We have bald eagles here, regular eagles, hawks and chicken hawks, and all kinds of big birds of praise, you know, praise, yeah. Birds of praise, yeah. So, and JP Reacts had um, what was it? Oh, I do believe another House of Representatives or somebody in Congress, it was Ted Cruz was asking another woman if she could define a woman, and she went into some spiel of bullshit, and he did just like I would answer the question. It's a yes or no question, you know. He didn't want to hear a speech on it. He wanted to hear the answer. It's yes or no. Can you define a woman? And people would think, well, that's not a very big deal. Well, then why even have women's sports? And the thing is, it will lead to men freely beating women without humanity batting an eye about it. And what they want to do to children and what they do to them is way worse. I'm telling you, this is where it's leading. Can you imagine walking out of your home and say if you're a single woman or if it's your mother, say if it's your 75-year-old mother, um, that doesn't fight, you know, and she walks out of her home and some dude in a dress walks up and smacks her in her face so hard she hits the ground and it kills her when her head smacks. Well, this, what is it? Insane? If he got caught? Or did she instigate it somehow? What's next with all this? Do you understand what I'm saying? That men already are brutalizing women in in untold numbers around this world. And women do too, don't get me wrong. But I am telling you that most women cannot combat a man. And we all know that's true. Men, you know that's true. What are you going to do for these women out there? For real. I'm trying. I'm battling the whole world. I'm telling every tranny man in this world, you need your ass beat, you retard. Yeah, and anybody else, whatever you think, you too. I've been in the position and I've listened to these men, and now you're going to hear them, and you aren't going to believe what you're hearing. So, I don't attack people, I don't hurt people. I stop people from hurting me, and I'll stop people from hurting you, and that's who I am. Who are you? What are you going to do to help the next generations to stop this nonsense? And yes, women's sports is important. That they shouldn't have to combat a man, right? Know how scary that was the first time I ever tried that? I was only taking judo, and I had somebody that was into kung fu try to take me out, and then he just didn't even leave me alone after I threw him. Then he tried to stalk me and hunt me down. I had to move. That little bastard wanted me dead, you know? That was the beginning of it. Besides what I grew up with. That's a whole nother story. That's why I was where I was. I was in a group home at that time from running away from brutality and taking judo lessons and yoga at that time so I could become who I am right now. And then I went into studying karate, kickboxing, taekwondo, aikido, all kinds of arts. So anyway, and yes, boxing, fencing, all kinds of sports. Not women's sports necessarily, but I was on a women's volleyball team, and it was less aggressive for the most part, unless you included me, than men's volleyball. And even some of their spikes are dangerous. Mine were too, but especially serving, I'd probably just get a point right away, a lot of times. But, yeah, like I say, it is important for what used to be considered the weaker sex. And yeah, I'm weaker than Doug. I'm more lethal. I'm not as dangerous, if that makes sense. But I'm not as strong as him, no fucking way. You know? And our endurance is less most of the time. I don't know, but yeah. I don't know anybody else around me that does push ups, or anything. So nobody young or old, so whatever. It's your body. You do with it what you want, I guess. Everybody loves somebody sometimes. Oh, yeah. Gotta love your own, though. Yeah. I do have a video on my other phone here uploading with Doug's little kitty daddy. Oh, he's been cleaning its eyes out every day. I don't know why it's just taken forever. It's like a 4 minute in some video, and then showing you the work that he's setting a dishwasher in a counter that he's making, where I'm going to have cabinets up above in a room for my trash can. So one of those metal ones, that you step on. And so, yeah, because he couldn't get out and mow the grass. And now today, I don't know what he's going to do, but it's going to be really warm out. So like 85 degrees, and we've had 2 days of rain that we needed really bad. So, I don't know. But a friend of his dropped over that we sold a Mustang to. He's driving it, got the top down. Not the one that we have, a different one we had before. And he wanted that car so bad, and he traded Doug some stuff, some guns. So only for the resale value if we choose to resell them, and everything's legal and above board. So yeah, and the government can't do nothing about trading and barter. They just hate that because there's no way to tax us on it. Yeah, they hate that. So, yeah. Oops, Doug's coming in now, so I'm probably gonna have to say something. I'm making a video, wanna say hi? Yeah? I'm making a video, wanna say hi? You got your buddy again?
Hi, YouTube.
What do you got to say today?
What
Anything
do I
new?
got to say?
Yeah, because they like to see ya.
Does everybody know that the government's going to be taken out of order because they are out of order? They're going bye-bye, each and every one. Democrats, Republicans, you name it. They're guilty of treason. And you know what treason brings on? You don't want to be guilty of treason. The cards are falling over. That's all I got to say. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Stay safe.
Yeah. What else is new?
I got to get that dishwasher going so I don't have to
Okay.
wash dishes tonight.
Oh, yeah. I've never
Bye,
seen you
YouTube.
wash dishes.
I thought I'd make her laugh.
Oh, you're funny today.
Old and funny.
Yes, funny man. Yeah.
Can I have another cup of coffee?
You sure can, and I don't think I won't be changing the oil on your car either, so yeah. You're welcome. You might what?
I might have two of them.
2 cups? Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah. He's looking good. He really has dropped some weight. So, yeah. And keep him busy. And yeah, you can tell, unlike, what's his name? Bobby Kennedy, he didn't just start exercising. When you've worked hard all your life and you do get older, you do retain your muscles and your definition unless you just sit there like a blob. We have friends that can't walk, that have to use, like, hover rounds and all the rest of that, and they started using them in their 50s. I have a friend that's 6 months older than me, and he hasn't been able to walk for about 15 years, and he's gotten so big, if he falls, we can't get him up, you know, and he can't get up by himself. That's one of them help I've fallen and I can't get up type of things, you know? That's pretty bad. So, yeah. See what else is going on. Well, I don't know. I guess what's really disturbing me most, and it doesn't really seem like a big deal, is the um, erasing of the woman in humanity, starting with their identity altogether and the pollution of it, and it's intentional. So I'm telling you, women and children are in danger. They're big danger if they get their policies the way they want them, the agendas, and you really need to learn what, like, Stalin, Marxism, and then into communism, and actually even what they would call socialism or fascism. I mean, study these things, realize that there's kind of a pattern and a progression in, like, communist country. They implement these things in increments so people don't really realize it's like the frogs in the warm water type of thing, and they don't realize that it's going to start boiling. It's so true. And I know most of you that listen to me understand all this, but you need to speak on it. You need to pick a topic that is near and dear to your heart and actually start talking about it to everybody that you meet. It's important because not everybody knows and not everybody realizes what's going on and why. I mean, the globalists, the global elite, oh, I hate that word, but so be it. Um, that's exactly what they want to do, is combine the whole world under their rule. And if you love your country, you need to individually stand up against all this wherever and whenever it happens. I hope somebody comes out with a video of those trans men yelling, "We're coming for your children." And I hope they caught children and mothers in the crowd hearing this. And I don't see how any woman could stand there with her child and let them see all that anyway. What the hell is wrong with you? Really, or man, oh, if you're a father and you have your children out there, you're brain dead beyond, you know, it's true. And I don't give people the excuse of fluoride or anything else. I give the reasoning. There's two camps, and you need to pick where you're camping because there is no in between. So, and these people that you're adults and you're doing some weird ass shit in front of kids and not caring how those children think. And I mean, I thought a lot of things when I was a little kid that I didn't dare speak on. I saw my parents steal and act like cheaters and sluts and brutal and weird and all kinds of things that I didn't dare open my mouth about at the time. You didn't talk back. Children were to be seen and not heard, is what we grew up, a lot of us grew up around, you know. And I don't approve of spanking either. I don't buy this spare the rod, spoil the child type of shit either. That's can play a big hand in children becoming unstable and brutal and passing that on to the next generation. So, yeah, and yes, I one time did slap my son's hand. I told him no, 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 and he was a toddler. I didn't hurt him. I slapped his fingers. He kept reaching for the stove, for the hot stove, thought it was funny. Well, guess what? That was because a few months before that, I was going to night school. I came home to see my baby's hands all wrapped up. Now, the worst thing you can do for a burn is put toilet paper on it. One of the worst things. Came home to see my baby, both his hands wrapped up in toilet paper, blistered. Yeah, I did take care of him. I have the capabilities um, from learning how to deal with burns, but yeah, then he went to do it again. I told him no 3 times. The third time I slapped his hand and he never did it again. So, and you think he would have learned from grabbing the whole stove when I was gone. He was in his little, them little scooter things that you can put babies in and they can sit and roll around in them. Well, his dad had been making food and not watching the kid, and that happens, yeah, but whatever. And didn't happen to me somehow. I don't know why. Maybe, well, anyway, I don't approve of hurting your child. Yeah, but it was instinct out of me to try and save my child. Another time that kid, we were camping. Well, it wasn't because I wanted to, but I had a fire pit and he almost fell in it face first. And my friend John and I grabbed him at the same time. The dad was standing right next to us, didn't even move. But John and I just, I called him Big John, our friends, we all did. And um, a minister friend of mine, and quick, big guy though, very quick. And we both grabbed the kid at the same time, saved his face and upper body from the fire. That was a trip. That kid and fire, I don't know. But yeah, no, I didn't hit him. So, yeah, I think he scared himself just by almost having it happen. But yeah, so my point about the whole thing is take it serious how they're trying to eliminate the woman. And if you think it's not a big deal that natural women now have to go up against um, unstable minds and hearts and souls that mean to do them harm and their children, you think that's a fucking joke. Better think again. There's nothing funny about all this, you know? It's a true thing. Please heed my words. Because what's coming next is going to be worse than what you think unless you help stop it. And you're going to see it's going to escalate real quick. You're just seeing the beginning of this. Now I can see a time where um, men and women, boys and girls can go back to the relaxation of dating and maybe, hopefully, with the grace of God, courting and asking the girl's parents for even a night with her and the way things should be conducted in this world. I could see the world going back to the concern from the parents in the situation and guiding them with love and concern on both of them, you know, the boy and the girl. And yeah, I believe in chaperones for like first dates and like teens going out. Yeah, I do. Better believe it. Why would you leave your teenager alone? If you've got a girl and you have a boy teenager and you're gonna leave him alone? What? Okay. Where the hell'd you come from? I know the name of the town. It's called Stupidville. You can say, well, you have to trust your teenagers. Yeah. How old are they? And how far do you want to trust them? And what are you going to trust them with? You're going to trust them with their home hormones? Poor little kids now. Like Lionel Nation said, they don't even know what their favorite color is yet. And you're asking them to come out of the closet. These babies don't even own a closet yet. Leave them alone. I'm going to check my phone again here and see how far we're getting. Probably not very far. I couldn't believe it. It was like, and I did try to, it said when I tried to transfer it over to my computer, it said file not found. And I thought, what do you mean it's not found? I put it in there. And then what file is it you can't find, you know, because it's there. So anyway, I started re-uploading it over in my studio, you know. Or no, I didn't. I tried to upload it in my studio and then I just uploaded it from my phone to right here. Anyway, so I just am getting really warm here. I might have to turn my air conditioner on today. It's one of them days. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope, and I mean, it would be really nice if some of you would share that last video I made. I was hesitant in even making another one. My question for the queers. That video is so full of information that everybody needs to know. There's going to be people out there now that are going to be talking about the mind virus and the variations of the worms that are in a human body and how they can be satanically controlled, but you're not going to get any information on how to combat that and keep yourself healthy. And if you do, that you're going to get it from me, they're going to get it from me and tell it to you. How would you like that? Wouldn't that suck? Yeah, it sucks. You know, isn't plagiarism a crime? Isn't taking somebody else's information and using it for your own against the law? I have videos proving that I can name names and channels of people that have taken my stuff and used it for their own, like they're so fucking brilliant. Yeah, would you be pissed if they made money off your stuff and you didn't? Yeah, you'd be pissed. Of course I deserve to. Who else would? Yeah, well, especially when they have the script right in front of them and they're masonically connected and they're doling it out in increments to make money off you. So it's sick, but it's the way they are, I guess. But it is illegal. And you'd think even in their hearts that they might even say, gee, I learned a little more from Barb or whatever. If you can't pronounce my last name, it rhymes with east. It's Weast. So if you see me, you could say, hello, Barb Weast. Yeah, why? If you got thoughts or you have a spouse that has off kilter thoughts in your heads, that's you. And I ask you, who the hell are you? And what are you and why? Who are you out for? You know? I have a right to be out for myself because, quite frankly, I know a little more about this stuff than you do. I think I'm the one that should be speaking on it. So here I am. Oh, yeah. Well, if it's true that this administration and a lot of what we see in the government is going to be going under, that's a start. Yes, we can rebuild. I don't know what everybody's so afraid about, in pointing out something that's bad in our world and trying to fix it. There's nothing wrong with that. Should I got people that watch me that say they love me and like me and they won't even give me a thumbs up. I never used to give myself a thumbs up, and I do now. I just started that after 6 years. Yeah. So, because I wanted to see if anybody actually really liked me. Like, wow, my heart's golden. What's wrong with you in your head? you know, what is somebody gonna see that you liked somebody that they may not? I don't understand. Yeah. I hardly ever watch a video of somebody's and not give them that honor and that respect. I just don't get it. My videos are so packed full of information, things you've never heard, and if you do hear them in the future, they're going to be out of somebody else that stole it. And that's okay with you. I don't get it. Yeah, it's teamwork out here, but if you leave the team leader out of the program, who are you? That's like saying you're God because you made a baby. Well, luckily, I don't do that. I don't leave him out of the picture. Or people that give credit to where they got their information. That's an important thing. It really is. You'll find out. It's okay, I guess. Yeah, it makes me sad. Who doesn't want to be liked, right? Yeah. It's called respect. Used to be a thing to respect our elders. Mm, I don't know. I honored them. Respect, that's earned. That's not just a given in life. But honoring them is another thing, you know. It's like when you get on a public transit, if you see like a pregnant woman and you're even older, are you going to let that woman sit down or are you going to? You know, little things in life that are a big deal. If you're hailing a taxi, and there's a older person or a woman with children or even a woman with groceries, what you gonna do? You know? Do you open doors for people? Are you polite? I mean, you probably are if you're watching me, no doubt. But a lot of people aren't. So I guess I am going to have a cup of coffee and feel sad because nobody cares enough and you don't value my information. So maybe you don't want the cure for Morgellons, huh? I have some ideas for the scientists out there. That's going to be another video. But yeah, I really do. And it really will work. I have a ex-lab tech sitting right in my house and my microscope sitting right up on my shelf and the knowledge of biology and science behind all that to explain enough so people could actually rid this world of disease. How about that? Is that valuable to you at all? I wonder. Yeah, and even without all that, how about the love I have in my heart? Is that valuable to you at all? What a fucking joke, right? I must appear to you. Yeah. And I keep talking. Why would that be? Well, thank you for joining me. If you could find it in your heart to try and promote, especially my last video, my question for the queers, I would appreciate it. And it's more important than you could ever realize. And what's coming up is way more important than you'll ever imagine on your own. Just keep that in mind in your ignorance or your non-ignorance, either way. So, all right, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.